Jay from Nightcall Singapore. Now every so often I get people telling me, hey, I can get a flashlight from so and so website at $20. Why is Nightcall so expensive? Are you cheating people? Right, so just last month I had this guy tell me at one of the retail shops that he got a 2000 lumen flashlight for only $40 and openly told me that Nightcall is overpriced in front of the shop owner as well. In my head I immediately know that okay, 2000 lumens at $30 obviously doesn't exist, right? So I asked him if he had the light on him so he could do a comparison. So he proudly took it out. Then I gave him a 1000 lumen SRT7. So he put them side by side and he turned one on and he turned his on, and this 1000 lumen light made his 2000 lumen light look like a toy, right? And then at the end of everything, he left the shop saying, he's gonna go get a refund on his 2000 lumen light. So it's not his fault, you see. I see this all the time, right? It comes down to miseducation. A scammer out there told him that hey, it was a 2000 lumen light and he believed it. So like this 100,000 lumen flashlight here, right? And the scary thing is 96 people have bought it and they said it indeed works, right? So it's like, what's going on? So as a buyer or customer, right, how do you know what flashlight marketing is real? What brands are legit? How does 1000 lumens really look like? This is 1000 lumens. Are the reviews real? How can I tell when all the flashlights look the same? So in this video, I'm going to show you how online scammers work, and at the same time reveal 2 things that you can look out for that will help you see through all the nonsense and help you, get your money's worth. Alright, so to help illustrate this, I bought 4 the most popular fake lights from online sites to compare them against their claim. Now I buy a lot of lights, right? Even the scam ones, like this. So not only to see what is out there, but to see which factory it came from. So here's a little bit of insider knowledge for you. Because from my lens, being in the industry for so long, there are only so many places that can make proper flashlight. I've also visited many of them to see how things are made. And they fall into different tiers, right? The lowest one being the corporate gifts and electronic hardware factories. Those tiny thumb lights you get as gifts, and then those $5 lights that you find at your local mama shop, comes from that kind of factories. Then the next step up are OEM flashlight factories. These are ones that can make aluminum flashlights, right? And they have the machinery and manpower, but they don't have a brand. So they make generic flashlights and then invite whoever to take their light, step on a logo on it, then sell it as a new product. So you see a perfect example of this later. Right, then next up are hobby or collector type factories. These are bespoke titanium grade lights or custom lights that are made using the best parts at small quantities, usually run by a small team or dedicated solo entrepreneur, right? They have their own brand and they are happy serving a premium collector market, right? The problem with these is that although their lights are good, they don't have the infrastructure to support large purchasers or distributors to provide warranty support. The next level up, the highest levels, are the enterprise level brands like obviously Nightcall, right, where they own the entire supply chain from end to end, from materials to production to R&D to design to marketing and distribution. They are big enough to supply entire international agencies. So now you know what type of setup exists behind all the fancy marketing online, right? So let's start unboxing these and I'll show you how to tell real from the rubbish. Okay, so now for benchmark, right, I'm going to use 2 lights from Nightcall. The MT2A, right, is the best AA light from Nightcall at 345 lumens. Okay, then the next one I'm going to benchmark is of course the MH12S. It's 1800 lumens. So you can see clearly what 300 lumen looks like and what 1800 lumen looks like. Okay, the camera settings won't change, so you can really see a true like for like comparison. Okay, so let's get started. So this is how it arrives, right, in a pack like this. What? Alright, here's how it looks like. 98,000 watts, super bright. Long range 9 watt meters. What does 9 watt meters mean, right? 980 hours, USB charging, super waterproof, brighter than car headlights. 150 people have bought this, 74 ratings, 4.9. So this is highly regarded light. Oh, okay, I see what this is. The focusing beam here, it doesn't only twist, it expands and contracts into a zoomable kind of thing, right? So, and then you zoom it to point as a laser, like this kind of thing. So is this 98,000 watts? Obviously not, right? If you compare it to 345 lumens, I mean, come on, So the first thing you want to look for when buying a flashlight is NC specs or ANSI. So created by the National American Standard Institute, right? It looks something like this. They're kind of like the food labels you find on things when you shop at the supermarket, so you know exactly what you're gonna get. So NC specs like this act as full labels, so you know when you buy a flashlight, you know exactly how bright it is, how long it can run, and you know run time, waterproofing, all of that. So when you buy a flashlight, whatever it is, right, online, you see that there's nothing on the box, nothing at all. There's no NC specs, then there's a red flag right there. Okay, let's carry on and open the next one. It comes in a box like this. Any NC specs? No. That's it. What is this for? Probably a battery tube of some kind. And this is the famous G2000 scam flashlight. Okay, so 12,000 lumen XML Zoom Cree T6 LED flashlight. How do you even turn this on? No battery? Oh, maybe that's what this is for. What in the world is this, right? This AAA battery cartridge, right? So you can either put in 3 AAAs to power a light like this, or I can assume this is a 18650 battery, so let's just pop in our own battery. So this is a 18650 night core battery. Another telltale sign of a poorly designed light, right? You see the battery wobbles in the case, so that's why you have to get this kind of silly attachment. So whenever you see flashlights that have this, right, why? Right? Durability is a question. Oh gosh. Even though it's a rubber gasket, it still wobbles. Oh, there you go. It's another one of those zooming. This is hardly 12,000 lumens, right? That's what they claim. Again, you compare it with a 345 lumen light. There you go. At a distance. What? Nothing is... Okay, it's a big floodlight, right? 345 lumens. Let's zoom this because that's probably what it was meant for. Probably a bit more useful. And then you got your famous square LED. Right, you can literally see the LED here. So these lights, right, a few years ago, they were sold as military lights with new tech that could instantly blind a person, and that it was now finally made available to the public. So that was actually just the strobe mode, right? So how do I get to the strobe mode? There. This, they sold it as a new military tech to blind someone, right? Which is... Oh, so I can't... There's no momentary signaling as well. I can only on and off, and it cycles through all the different modes. So in professional terms, it's called stupid UI. Again, right? You just cycle through. You can't silent signal. So when I mean silent signals, what that means is like this, right? Right, completely silent. I can signal 3 long, 3 short. Signal whatever I want. Okay? Proper lights. But the truth is that the guy that was selling this had just a ton of OEM flashlight that he had, you know, left over from a order. So he made up a fake story and sold it. So it was so popular that in Singapore even, you know, people were calling me to ask, hey, do you have the G200 light? You know, and they were selling it for 200 USD. What was the cost of this? $4. Right? I got it for $4 and they were selling it for 200 USD. It's really insane, right? The amount of marketing nonsense that went into this. You know, people bought this not knowing that it was an outright scam. Right? It's really, really terrible. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Oh look, the box came damaged. What happened here? Okay. Look, it chipped off during shipping. Pretty cool flimsy plastic box. Look, another one of those cartridge. As soon as you see one of these, you know that it's gonna be horrible, because when you have a light that uses 3 times AAA battery, the voltage is gonna be so low, it's never going to reach whatever brightness it claimed, right? 100,000 lumens. Alright. I mean, immediately, what is going on here, right? The ports are exposed. How do I turn it on? Power button here. Oh my goodness, look, the whole button depresses in and it rocks around. This is... What? Where is my 100,000 lumens? That's it? Hey, this was one of the most expensive ones at $109, right? They sold it to 96 people. Is it loose? Oh, another zoomable light, okay. Oh my gosh, look. The power button is stuck. Ah, look at that. Look at this tiny little laser spot Again, for comparison, this is a AA light, 345 lumens. This is supposed to be 100,000 lumens. Come on, guys. What kind of battery does it run on? Dreaded ultra fire. Look at this nonsense, right? A lot of people try and buy, you know, higher capacity batteries. Now, right now on the market, the highest capacity 18650 is about 3005 or 3008 at the maximum. Okay, that is physically impossible to make a 18650 battery that has 6800 capacity, as it claimed here. So immediately, this is a nonsense battery. I mean, you carry the weight of this. This is lighter than the night cost 2300 milliampere battery. So okay, I'll give it the benefit of doubt. Maybe the battery is weak, so I'll just use a night core battery in it and we'll see if it reaches 100,000 lumens. Core battery in the adapter. There you go. So it is a little bit brighter. Is this 100,000 lumens? Obviously not, right? Compared to a battery. When you use it at range, right, it becomes useless, right? Maybe you can use it like this, but this is hardly a tactical light, right? 1800 lumens, look at that. Proper hotspot and spill for, you know, navigation around you. This one you gotta choose between hotspot, a little bit wider, and completely useless. So any light that is zoomable and are claimed as tactical is fake. When in a tactical situation, you need to pull out immediately, mash, and then you go, right? So sometimes you need to hit for impact. This kind, you pull out, I gotta make sure I turn this on. And then when I pull it out of my holster, oh, there's no holster as well. I don't know how you're gonna secure this. You pull it out of your pocket, you know, this drags onto your pocket, then you try and aim the little square dot on the guy's face. I mean, you know the whole thing just falls apart, right? It has 4 nuclear LEDs. Look at the description on this. 4 nuclear LEDs. It doesn't even say how bright it is. Never mind. Let's go. Again, AAA, 3 times AAA battery cartridges. It's gonna be trash. 374 pieces sold. 198 5-star ratings. Again, no NC specs. Just nothing. Just is this zoomable? Again, it is zoomable. Can I turn it on? Oh yes. Okay, it works. So this is actually pretty decent. It is super bright. Again, this is kind of a front button, poor UI. Alright, if you're looking for a very good storeroom light, I think this comes closest. Useless laser light, the square LEDs, you know, 345 lumens, 1800 lumens. At a distance, of course. Oh my god, look at the crosshair. Right, probably the most usable mode is like this. Let's get the battery out. 26650 size, 8000 milliampere battery. Look at the size of that. Alright. This is a 18650, but according to the weight, I don't think it's 8000 milliamperes because it's so light. Right, you know when the battery has high capacity because of the weight. So the heavier the battery, the more coils they have inside, so the more capacity there is. So for $15, yeah, this might work as a storeroom light, you know, but if you're using a flashlight for anything serious, life and death or hobby, then don't bother, right? Alright, you've seen the 4 lights, right? They are definitely not what they claim to be, like 100,000 lumens, a nuclear LED. It's probably only like 250 lumens at max, you know, all of these. So I mean, these will come from OEM factories or slightly higher end electronic factories. So they just make lights like this, then they let you laser your own logo here, then they put a fancy page and then you market it. So this is an OEM, a really cheap headlamp that, you know, they've hyped it up, hype beam. So I bought this for 200 USD, and this is all it came, right, in this crummy box like this with nothing at all. And then a light like this. The battery is the cheapest 1800 milliampere battery, and this is a very flimsy rubber. So I mean, in terms of design wise, you can tell, right, once you look at the product, everything is plasticky, you know, why you put rubber at the back. If this was a real headlamp, your sweat is going to disintegrate the rubber. Any light that uses a cycle UI that I cannot press and hold to turn it off, it's called stupid UI, right? Operators will never use such lights. Screwdrivers, Phillips head screwdrivers, and these for some reason can be unscrewed. It says it's waterproof. Obviously not. You can see the wire, exposed wire running into the light here, right? Both sides can be unscrewed. I wouldn't trust this light on any kind of op, right? Except for maybe my kids. No, I wouldn't even give this to my kids, it's too heavy. So when you're choosing lights, right, you gotta look at the reviews. This was actually sold on a custom landing page. So the custom landing page has tons of positive reviews. So as a consumer, what you should look out for is who else is using it. You know, by that I don't mean reviewers, but real international agencies, right? This reveals two things. You know, things like this P10, P10 GT, P10 V2 is all standard issue across so many countries. So then this tells you two things, right? That the light has been tested to death before they even got selected, so you can trust that what you're buying already has been tested. And secondly, a brand will not be chosen as a standard issue if it wasn't big enough. So that also tells you, that it's infrastructure behind, there's warranty support. You can, if there's anything wrong, you can go to the distributor and they'll take care of it for you. It's not like you buy something like this, one LED is spoiled, who do I contact? Right, if I go back to, these kind of nonsense websites, they'll just tell you to go and find the local agent or, just disappear or don't reply you. There are also lights that are well made from Oem factories that look fantastic on paper. So something like this, right? So this is a tiny little light that is a quad array. Right, on paper this does 2300 lumens and it uses a copper heat sink, to dissipate the heat. Right, so okay, on paper that sounds nice. I have 2300 lumens. Copper dissipates heat very well, so I can keep the temperature low. But when you actually turn this on, right, I can't even get it to 2300 lumens anymore because when I first did that, it went so hot. The copper distributed so much of the heat, I could not turn off the light. Right, so then it just overheated itself. It got so hot whenever I tried to touch the top or turn off the button here, I would, my skin would literally burn. Right, eventually the heat transferred from the copper into the aluminum, then the entire thing got so hot, I just had to put it down on the table and let it smoke itself to death, right? So now I can't even change any modes anymore because the circuits inside were probably fried due to overheating. So you see, these kind of lights are, very fancy, well made. On paper, they look good. They have NC specs on it, But when you actually put them into use, it's like just garbage, right? You can't even get this to work. Like, what am I going to use for this, right? This is a good 180 USD kind of light with, copper inlay and all that kind of thing. So when you buy your lights, just go with, trusted brands. Oh, so now I can't even turn this off now. I can't. Just go with trusted brands. Look at what international agencies are using them. The Nightcore is used by 15 different agencies, even NATO, UN, the local SPF, Israel Police, Brazil Highway, all kinds of places are using Nightcore because it has been tested and proven. So there you have it. You've seen how these cheap lights were oversold. You also know now roughly the tiers of flashlight brands, right? And the two short things you need to look for when looking for flashlights is the NC chart. Remember to always look out for this. And if a brand has NC chart, like this one, look out. The next thing you look for is reviews. Not peer-to-peer reviews on Amazon or that. They are obviously fake, but look for agencies. What real international agencies use them? Can you Google it? Can you see pictures of the operator actually using that brand? Right, if you Google MH12 UV, you can see the French police actually using it on their gear. It's real, So that's it. I hope this was helpful to you. If you'd like to see more videos like this, where we help you choose the best lights for your work or adventure, subscribe down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Stay safe. MJ signing out. All of this.